Hi guys, I'm back with another mani. So I have some products that Madam Glam sent over to me, and these are Madam Glam's press pigment palettes. Okay, so they look like eyeshadow palettes, however it is pigment for your nails. So thank you to Madam Glam for sending me these products to feature on my channel. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I have on one coat of Aloe Taco Pilly base on top of my builder gel, and I've applied Madam Glam's base coat and cured for 30 seconds in my LED lamp. And as a reminder, Madam Glam products are 21 free, HEMA free, cruelty free, palm oil free, vegan, and they have a 12-month shelf life. Okay, and so I've cured, and y'all look, my thumb had an accident. It cracked, the builder gel cracked, and so it's kind of bruised. It wasn't cracked all the way down to the nail, but that's why my left hand is now shorter. And so I decided with these pigment palettes that it will be best to use a light color, and so I'm going in with Canadian Winter. It looks like a pale pink, but I can't remember if it's a pale pink or a pale white. So I'm applying a thin layer of that to all nails, and then I'm going to cure for 30 seconds in my LED lamp. So before I go, you guys know I always have to tell you about Madam Glam's payment options. And so with Madam Glam, they do have a VIP membership program, and with the VIP membership program, you pay $29 a month and you get a $29 credit. So I always think of it as a savings program for your gel polishes, because paying the $29 a month allows you to purchase the gel polishes at 50% off. It gives you access to new collections that are released, and it gives you free shipping as well. If you don't want to sign up for the VIP membership program, because I understand $29 a month is a lot, you can do the pay-as-you-go option, and for your purchase, and I have a discount code. I believe it saves you 35% off, and I will have that linked in the description box below, along with the bit.ly link that will take you directly to the site. And again, my discount code will be in the description box below. So guys, just hang out with me while I do this application, and I will be back to talk about the pigment powders. So I don't have no idea why I decided to turn my finger that way. It just, on the day that I did this, it just felt easier for some reason. Maybe because my nails were shorter, I'm not really sure. But Canadian Winter is a very pretty pale color. It almost gives me a natural type vibe, if you get where I'm going with that. Again, I couldn't tell if it was pale pink, and I didn't bother to look up the color on the website, but I think it's a really soft pale pink, or it could be off-white, no telling. So I'm just applying two thin coats of color, and I will cure for 30 seconds. So I'm doing the best I can. I use a nail brush and alcohol to clean up any excess gel polish on the skin before curing. You want to try to avoid getting gel polish on your skin, but I know sometimes you just can't help it. So after I cured, I couldn't remember if I put on top coat or base coat. So I'm going in with the alcohol wipe and removing the inhibition layer from the nail polish from curing. And so with the pigment palettes, the instructions do tell you to use a matte top coat. Now I don't have Madam Glam's velvet matte top coat, so I'm just using a matte top coat that I have. So I'm applying the matte top coat to all nails, and I'm going to give my cure my nails for 60 seconds in my LED lamp. So after curing, I'm going in with another alcohol wipe and just removing whatever's left on the nail from that matte top coat. Matte top coat leaves some type of weird textured film on your nail, because I just do not like matte top coat. That's just me. And so here are the pigment palettes. The first palette, really neutral colors. I think those are perfect for fall. And the second one has more vibrant colors. And so you have the instructions here. Apply your velvet matte top coat, apply the pigment to the nail, and then you're going to brush off excess and apply top coat. So I decided to go in with these nail stencils, because I was like, how am I going to use these? And so I have these nail stencils. Number one, they're old. And when I say old, years old. And so I'm just trying to get that off. When the doggone stencil wouldn't even come off of the paper. But I finally got it off. And so with the stencil, I was like, well, let's just try something. What can you do with these pigment powders? And so I'm going in with the nail stencil. I'm going to press that down on the nail, get that as smooth as possible, because you don't want the pigment powder to get under the stencil, and then it's going to mess up your image, which I end up messing up on that on my ring finger. And so I'm going in, getting that pressed to the nail. I'm folding the edges, getting that sealed. Sealed. Had a hiccup there. And then I'm going to go in with the pigment palettes. And so I had some eyeshadow applicators in one of the drawers that I use for chrome. And so I decided to use the first 3 colors on the pigment palette. So I'm going in and picking up that pink and just kind of zhuzhing that on the nail, because I wanted a ombre type of effect. And yes, it's September and I'm using vibrant colors. Why the heck not? Do what you're gonna do with your nails. Who said colors had to be limited to a season? Do what you're gonna do. And so after I do the pink, I'm going in with the orange. They're really easy to use, just like putting eyeshadow on if you wear makeup, but except now you're putting this makeup on your nails. And so I'm going in with the yellow, and I kind of wanted those roses to be a little blend, so I'm zhuzhing that in. I go back in and repeat the colors. Okay, and again, you want to use a light color because it stands out on the nail. Now, what I'm thinking about the other palette is, and I'm brushing off excess, and so I'm removing the stencil, and voila, we have some kind of ombre type neonish roses. And so I then go in and apply the no wipe top coat to the nail. And before I did that off camera, I did use an alcohol wipe and cleaned up excess pigment on the nail. So where my statement was going earlier, with the other palette, there was a shimmery white in there, and I'm just wondering, would that work to give that kind of aura effect on the nail, where you put it in the middle of the nail and kind of blend it out to on a darker color. So I want to try that. I want to try it on dip powder too. So I might forget to do it because I got a lot of other videos that I need to voice over and get uploaded. And so this was in real time. So this is how slow I be working, slow. That's why my videos are always sped up. I be taking my sweet doggone time. And so after I get that top coat, I'm going to cure. And the reason why I put the top coat on before I did anything with the other nails, because I didn't want to take the chance of messing that nail up. And I also didn't want to take the chance of pigment powder getting on the nail. And so now I wanted to try it with some nail stamping. I know you're probably like, nail stamping? Yes, you can use pigment powders for nail stamping as well. And so I wanted an image that was a image with a lot of detail, so I couldn't decide between the leaves or the little small kind of rounded diamond like pieces, whatever you want to call that. And so if you use pigment powders for stamping, make sure you use a stamper that you don't care too much about messing up, because these are pigment colors, so it's pigment, so it's very pigmented and hard to get off of the stamper. Like, you have to use a lot of lint roller and stuff like that. So I'm going in and I'm applying the pigment to the nail stamper. I'm trying to get like a blended ombre effect with that. And so doggone it, when I got this on the nail, I had my colors upside down because I wanted it to match the colors of my index finger. And so I'm just looking at the stamper. I'm like, do I like that? And so I'm trying to blend the orange and the yellow together more, and the pink and the orange. And I was like, okay, that should work. Let's see what it do. So I'm going in with some white stamping polish, and I'm going to use that image that I'm putting it over, of course, and I'm gonna scrape and I'm going to pick up the image on the nail stamper. And so once I pick that image up, you can clearly see that it picks up, and I'm like, okay, what is this going to do? So here I meant to put the pink up top and the yellow on the bottom. Now I like this look, but it wasn't as blended as I wanted it to be. So off camera, I just took some alcohol, wiped it off, and did it off camera and top coated. and so that will be coming up shortly. Again, it's hard to get that pigment off the nail, and you can see the pink and the orange wasn't blended like I wanted it to be, but the orange and the yellow blended together well on the thumbnail. And so I'm going in with that stencil again, and I'm repeating the roses on my ring finger. And after that, I decided to go in and use the pigment powders to create like an ombre effect on my middle finger and my pinky. And so pigment powder did fall on my pinky. I just took an alcohol wipe and wiped that off. It came right up off the nail. I wish I would have did the yellow ombre on my thumbnail just to kind of give a more cohesive look. And see, I didn't press the stencil down good enough on the tip of my ring finger, so it was kind of like a blob of color, but again, I still thought it was nice, my personal opinion. And so I'm going in with the alcohol, cleaning that pigment off my pinky, and I'm just using that same alcohol swab to clean excess pigment powder off of my skin. And then I'm going to go in with the applicator and do some ombre effect on the middle finger, as I mentioned earlier, and my pinky. Again, I wish I would have did the ombre on my thumbnail as well. Really easy. It went on the nail well. You can do this with any color that you want to do this one. I should have done some blue, but that kind of saves you some time too, because people trying to do ombres with like dip powders and gel polishes. Get your life and get you some pigment powder. That's all I know. And that little brush that I'm using, I'm just trying to blend that down. That's also the brush I use to remove excess pigment from the nail. So I thought it blended well. I kind of messed my pinky up a little bit, but it's okay. So I'm going in with the top coat, and I will then cure Madam Glam's no wipe top coat, and then I will cure for 30 seconds. And after your nails cool off, y'all, make sure that you apply some cuticle oil, just to give your skin a little bit of shiny, nourishing oil, a little bit of love, and to help rehydrate your nails because you beat them up during your application. And of course, I use Madam Glam's elixir, which is their cuticle oil, available on their site. So guys, please like this video if you found value. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and if you've used these pigment palettes, or would you consider using pigment palettes or powders. And subscribe to my channel. It is free $9.99. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next time.